the Tarot Love Reading for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Cancer, welcome to Alchemy Ascension. Let's see what's happening in your love life. Okay, so I have your energy laid out here on the right side of the spread, Cancers, and your love interest is on the left side. And the center line there is the mutual energy between the two of you. What I'm seeing so far is that the two of you are in a very similar energy right now. And I want to note that I really get the strong feeling that a lot of you are dealing with a Sagittarius. These are basically the same characters that came out in the reading that I did previously for Sagittarius. And it's a very similar storyline as well, in a sense. The central issue is the same as this spread. So if you are involved with a Sagittarius, you might want to check out that reading. Now, where I have you currently in this love connection, Cancer, is in the Five of Pentacles energy. So this is an energy of you feeling a sense of loss and isolation and lack. So you're feeling very lonely for some reason. You're feeling like there's not enough of something in your life. You know, and since this is a love reading, it could be that you're feeling a certain void emotionally and longing for something more fulfilling in your love life. And what we have clarifying the Five of Pentacles is the Four of Swords, the Ten of Cups, and the Star card. So you may be dealing with an Aquarius with the Star card coming up. But the feeling I'm getting here with this set of cards is that you may have recently come out of a relationship and you're feeling sad about that and alone. But what I'm feeling even more is that it may be that you're actually in a relationship, that you're finding yourself feeling alone in that relationship, in a relationship that's unfulfilling. When I first laid out this spread and clarified this, I hadn't gotten to the central issue yet, so my first impression was that you were single, or that you're single currently and alone and feeling this void in your life, this sense of loneliness and isolation and sadness. But after I got further into the reading, that might not be the case. It could be, it's one or two scenarios. Either you're alone and really feeling it, in a heavy sense, where it's really kind of affecting you, that sense of isolation that you're currently going through, a feeling of lack emotionally. In a general reading this could be financial lack, but this is a love reading, so this is talking about longing for something more. And that's really emphasized here with the Ten of Cups clarifying the Five of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and the Star card. What this is telling me is that right now, whether you're in a commitment or whether you're single, you're taking a time out. You're really resting and reflecting. And what's interesting here in this Mermaid Tarot is that this Four of Swords shows a woman that's, encapsulated in ice, which is so interesting because that's always the feeling you get from the traditional Five of Pentacles image. The traditional Rider-Waite always gives you that kind of very cold, lonely sense, that's why you'll always hear tarot readers, when this card comes out in the reading, the first interpretation that you hear most often is that you're feeling left out in the cold. And that's really emphasized here with that Four of Swords. But it also gives a sense of you taking a break. You're feeling alone, but you're making the most of that time. You're allowing yourself to heal and to reflect and to recuperate from whatever it is that you experienced that likely left you feeling very drained. And so you're in this kind of restorative state, almost like a meditative state there, but you're feeling sad and alone. And with the Ten of Cups clarifying it and the Star card, it's really interesting because again, I really feel that emphasizes that you're going through a phase in life right now where you're feeling a very deep longing for something more fulfilling emotionally in your life. So if you're in a commitment currently, which I suspect you might be, it could be, your person of interest, that is, but if you are currently in a committed relationship, this is indicating, for whoever this reading's going to resonate with, it's indicating this is for somebody who's feeling unfulfilled emotionally in the connection that they're currently in. So you're here feeling this great sense of hope, though. That's kind of what's beautiful about this set of cards. So although you're feeling left out in the cold and lonely for some reason, you haven't lost hope, The Star card also speaks of healing, which is indicated in the Four of Swords as well. So you're in a state of healing. You're definitely making the best use of this time of isolation. And you haven't let go of this hope and faith for something that's going to be magnificent emotionally in your love life. That Star speaks of a destined connection. It speaks of something that's not common. This isn't longing for any relationship. This is longing for a deep, destined soul bond with someone. This is someone who's longing for their soulmate or their twin flame. Someone that could truly bring you this absolute emotional fulfillment here with the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a card that talks about that beautiful blessing that happens, so rarely in people's life, where you meet somebody that has a similar vision emotionally. Two people that have, again, that same vision for what a beautiful love life would look like. Two people who want the same things and have the same dreams, and who just have that, basically speak the same love language. You're longing for somebody who speaks your same love language, somebody that has a similar vision for the future, that wants the same things that you do. And you haven't lost hope in finding that, so that's a really good sign. That's the ultimate fulfillment. Longing for the Ten of Cups, that is, most would say that's the best card you could get in a love reading. It's the highest level that you can reach in love, represented in a tarot card, It's finding your true counterpart emotionally, and having, again, that beautiful blessing of being able to share your life with that person. So your person over here, they're currently in a very similar state of mind emotionally as well. This is a person who's also experiencing a very deep sense of lack. They're in the Five of Cups energy, which talks about just a profound sadness. It the image speaks volumes in this illustration. This is someone who's mourning the loss of love as if that person died for them. I mean, that is an absolutely intense, profound level of sadness when you're in this energy. And it's a feeling of, at times it can be regret or remorse. But if this person, didn't do anything to feel regretful for, it can just be the pure, profound sadness of the love that was lost and wasted. It speaks of love being spilled out of those cups and knocked over as if they were worthless, and just lost and wasted, like such a beautiful love. And that person is still in that phase of reflecting on that feeling of what a tragic loss that was, essentially. And the caution, for cross-watchers, if you're resonating with this and you're watching for your Cancer love interest, is to not get so deeply lost in that pain and sadness that you neglect to notice the opportunity that's still available. There's always 2 cups remaining in the 5 of Cups card, and so the message there is that there's still hope, there's still hope to revive this love, to salvage that. It represents the 2 of Cups card, which is one of the most beautiful mutual love cards that you can get in a tarot reading. So there's something to salvage there. And if it's not in this relationship, there's some other love opportunity that's nearby. But it generally speaks, of course, of this particular situation. So it's important to consider that, to not get so lost in this sense of sadness that you forget that there may be something that can be done to salvage that. So your love interest being in this 5 of Cups, that was clarified by the Empress card. The 9 of Pentacles. And the Death card. So that paints a pretty clear picture, they're mourning, as one would suspect, what they're feeling as the death of that connection that they had with you. And they're very deeply affected by that. And with the 9 of Pentacles and the Empress card showing up, it's kind of an interesting combination, because I feel that they saw you as their Empress, Cancer. This is someone that they considered their ideal match, that they felt could bring them complete emotional fulfillment as well. So it's very similar to where you're at. Whatever ended here, the 2 of you are reflecting on it and mourning in a similar way. I feel, Cancer, that you're feeling that you lost your ultimate ideal in love, your ideal lover, somebody that you could have had lived out that ideal life with emotionally, that they would have brought you complete fulfillment, and they feel the same about you. They feel that they lost their Empress, somebody who had all the qualities that they dreamed to find in someone, that they dreamed to find in their counterpart. With the 9 of Pentacles showing up as well, it's a very similar energy to the Empress card. Most tarot readers will call the Nine of Pentacles pre-Empress, because this is on that same level. This is somebody who is right there on their way up to becoming an Empress, because they are self-actualized, you know, they love themselves, and they take care of all their essential needs. So they're just looking for somebody to, they're not looking for someone to complete them in any way. They're complete on their own. They're looking for somebody to enhance the life that they have. Somebody to offer them that 10 of Cups, that 10 of Pentacles. The only thing a Nine of Pentacles or an Empress cannot have on their own, because they have everything. These are very abundant individuals. They're looking for that complete fulfillment. Somebody who's balanced out, who has a really good balance emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Someone that knows what they want. And so what that's telling me is that I feel that your person saw you as their counterpart. You know, I feel like they saw you in a sense as equals. And so they feel like they lost that when things ended between the two of you. They had their perfect match, someone that they could have had not only their 10 of Pentacles, but their 10 of Cups as well. So they are in a very profound state of mourning right now over the loss of your connection. What we have coming up, Cancer, for how you feel about your love interests, your thoughts, how you see them, is the Emperor card. Now this may indicate that you're dealing with an Aries, it's possible. But this really gives me the impression, again, that the two of you had a really similar view. It's almost like the two of you knew that you were divine counterparts. The Empress and the Emperor, this is a divine pair. This is something that's written in the stars, destined by the gods and goddesses, by the universe. These are two people who are meant to be together. And so when that came to an end, you two are really hurting because of it. But beyond that, this talks about you seeing your person, again, as somebody who's self-actualized, somebody who you view as a mature individual. You view your person as somebody with a lot of conviction, someone who knows what they want, someone who knows how to get it, and somebody who knows how to keep it. You see your person as a leader, as somebody in control. It's very likely that your love interest is either in some type of high-level position. They may be a CEO, have some type of prominent position in a company. They could be a business owner, entrepreneur, something along those lines, but your person is someone that doesn't like to answer to anyone, so they essentially want to be their own boss or in a very high-level position. They like to, they march to the beat of their own drum. They like to be in control of things. But to keep it really real, you know, there could very easily be a negative connotation to this as well, because particularly with you being Cancers that I'm reading for, we all know Cancer is one of the most sensitive signs in the zodiac. You and Pisces are the two most sensitive, so this could very easily be indicating that you feel your person is a little too heavy-handed, too harsh, too rigid, too much of an authoritarian, too set in their ways, too controlling. That's the flip side of the coin with an emperor. You know, with all positives, there's the negative on the flip side, so this is the divine masculine, but like all of us, he has this shadow side as well. He can be very controlling. He wants to have the final word. He feels he knows what's best because he's a very mature and wise individual, you know, and he's spent a lot of time reaching that level of self-development. He's learned a lot. He has a lot to offer. So you're seeing this person this way, and because I'm reading for Cancers, I get a very strong feeling that it's not all positive, that you're seeing them this way, but there's a heavy emphasis on you feeling that they're a little bit too rigid, too set in their ways. Now, how your love interest is seeing you is the Knight of Pentacles. This could go one of two ways. This could either mean that they're seeing you as somebody who's taking an extraordinarily long time to come to them with an offer. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight of all knights in the deck. But, as many of you already know, he has the best offer of all knights for anybody looking for something that is, you know, it depends of course on what you're looking for, but if you're looking for something that's going to endure, this is the knight that's going to have it. This is the knight that's going to bring it. But he is so unbelievably slow that you will eventually think that he's not even on his way, that he's forgotten all about you, you know? So your person is either seeing you in this energy, but there's a small chance too that they see you as waiting for them because they're in this energy. So take that as it resonates. Now, for what you want from your love interest, this is interesting. We have the Eight of Cups. And this talks about walking away from a situation that you find emotionally unfulfilling. So it's really interesting because, you know, we have you and your love interest are showing up in this energy of remorse, sadness, loneliness, mourning the loss of something. Both of you feeling a deep sense of lack and sadness over something that's missing in your life, something that was lost. And yet you're here wanting the Eight of Cups, which talks about walking away from a relationship, a connection that's emotionally unfulfilling. So it could be, Cancers, that your person is in a relationship, a commitment, and you're wanting them to walk away to be with you. Or one of you is definitely in a commitment. There is no question about that. This is a reading for someone where one of you two is in a committed relationship, and that's the issue. And that's why I really think that a lot of you may be dealing with the Sagittarian. Very similar storyline. So Cancers, whether it's you or your person of interest, it could, and now if it's you, Cancers, it means that you're wanting to walk away from an unfulfilling relationship because you're with somebody, but it's like you're alone. You're feeling so much of a void emotionally, so much lack, that it's like you might as well be alone, you know? You feel you're not fulfilled in that connection. And that's exactly the type of energy that leads to somebody, you know, there's many scenarios that can lead to a person feeling unfulfilled and leaving, but that would definitely be one of them. If you're with somebody who leaves you feeling neglected emotionally, yeah, that'll definitely lead to you getting in the Eight of Cups energy and walking away from that. because this person is walking away looking for his Nine of Cups, which is a wish fulfillment, essentially, you know, emotional fulfillment. Now, that was clarified, here's where it gets even more interesting, by the Two of Cups. So again, there's two ways to look at this. If it's your person, Cancer, that's in the committed relationship, you are wanting them, what that would mean then is that you're wanting your love interest to leave their connection and be with you because you feel that the two of you are soulmates, because the two of you have a very deep, profound, mutual love for each other with this Two of Cups energy coming up. So that's scenario number one. But if it's you in the relationship, this commitment here at the center of the spread, Cancers, then you deep inside are longing to leave that connection that you find so emotionally unfulfilling in pursuit of your Two of Cups, which is most likely this person here, of course, that's showing up on the left side of your spread. So it's really interesting. That could go either way. You got to take that as it resonates. What your love interest is wanting from you, Cancers, is the King of Swords. You may be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone in that energy, or somebody with strong air placements in their chart as well. But I really feel that this is speaking more to the fact that your person wants clear communication and lots of it from you. They want to open up communication. They want truth from you. They want you to come to them with communication and clarity and conviction in whatever it is that you want. And they want you to just lay the truth out there on the table. You know, no holding back. Because the King of Swords, you know, when he's in a high vibe, this is a person may not be very emotional at all, but he is a very fair and just person. He communicates very clearly, to the point. You know, he's not gonna string you along in any wishy-washy behavior. He's gonna lay it out on the table and tell you exactly the truth and how it is, whether you like it or not, whether it hurts or not. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. He's going to tell you exactly what the truth is. And there will be no questions left. It'll be total clarity and getting straight to the point. So your person's really wanting that from you. If you're not dealing with an air sign, you may be dealing with an air sign, but again, this is the placement of this card placement is what your person wants from you. The King of Swords in that placement was clarified by the Five of Cups and the Eight of Wands. So that really reinforces everything that we were talking about here. With the Five of Cups, it just entirely drives home this sense of profound pain and sadness that your person is feeling right now from the ending of your connection. And they're really mourning that. They're in a very dark, painful place right now, emotionally, you know? So with that clarifying, the King of Swords and the Eight of Wands clarifying that, which is one of the most prominent communication cards in the tarot deck. This is the communication card right here. It speaks of a lot of communication happening back and forth between two people. And it can be in any form. It can be in person, emails, text messages, whatever, but this is a lot of talking happening right here. And it's often impassioned communication, passionate, you know. This is a lot of communication with someone that you feel passionate about. And I feel that the topic that they wanted to discuss is this ending that happened between the two of you, and they're wanting clarity on that. What we have coming up for the strength in your connection, it's kind of an unusual card. I've been getting those lately in this placement, but we have the Knight of Swords coming up. So having the Knight of Swords come up as the strength in your connection, what that's saying is that this person is not alone in wanting that truth and clarity and communication. That is a mutual feeling. It means that the two of you right now are both feeling a very strong impulse and desire to just rush in and lay it out on the table, everything, all the truth, all the communication, the good, the bad, the ugly. You two just want to get it out there and move past that. It talks of someone rushing in with a lot on their mind and a lot to say. This is somebody who's often been bottling it up for a long time, and they have so much they want to say. They've been holding it in for so long that they can't even be strategic about it anymore. They just kind of like explode with this eruption of communication and all these thoughts and feelings and everything that they've been holding in. And they just, want to get it out on the table. Whatever that may be for the two of you. So with that showing up as the strength in the connection, it indicates that the two of you have this strong desire to just get it all out in the open once and for all. That was clarified by the Five of Swords. And the Page of Cups. Thank Goddess for that, because if it would have just been the Five of Swords, that would have been kind of a scary combination. But what this is saying is that likely one of the issues that led to the two of you ending up in separation is that for whatever reason, you two ended up in a very bad energy towards each other. Things really devolved into a low vibe where there was just a lot of, whether it was coming just from one of you or both of you, there was a lot of low vibe fighting, and with the Five of Swords, it doesn't always mean like in each other's face fighting. It can be passive aggressive fighting, things that are done, because it most often speaks of mind games. It speaks of people really going to the lowest of low energy to hurt each other. It's really sad to see that energy in a love reading, because this is very painful. This is when one or both of you are going out of your way to trigger each other on a deep level and just really trying to wound each other. I mean, look at this girl here. She's bleeding, she's horrified, she's traumatized. I mean, this is with the Seven of Swords and the Devil card. These are the three lowest vibe energies in the deck. So the two of you have been through some kind of hell together, where you both, either both of you or one of you, somebody or both of you ended up really hurt in this connection because of this energy that was brought into the mix, where somebody was like blinded in their ego and desire to hurt the other person. And this is a very unconscious energy. When somebody gets here, it's fueled by ego, this blind. It's kind of like, I'm not a religious person at all, but I do believe in people getting possessed by their dark side in a sense. And to me, the devil is our ego, you know? And so when we become these demonic characters, it's because we are possessed by our own ego. And that's what happens when someone is in this Five of Swords energy. You're just like possessed, like in a horror movie. You're doing unthinkable things, sometimes to someone that loves you so much, you know, and it's really tragic because it only leads to so much regret. You know, you end up cutting off your nose to spite your face if you're in that energy. Nobody wins. This is the card of empty victories. The person that brings this energy into the mix, they always think they win in the beginning because somebody walks away, but they're walking away because, not because they don't think they can win, it's because they don't want to win if winning requires them lowering themselves to a place that they're just not them anymore, you know? So what's beautiful to see coming out after that is this Page of Cups energy. So Cancers, whether it was you in the Five of Swords, your love interest, or both of you, this being in the strength and the connection, this means that both of you want, at the very least, a truce, a peace offering, an apology. This is speaking, this Page of Cups, of a sincere emotional offering. And it could go either end of the spectrum. It could be as, you know, this mutual desire that goes as far as the two of you wanting to reconcile and wanting it to start with this sincere communication, getting it all out in the open, which is so necessary. If you've been through this kind of energy, there's no way to get past it and move forward with the person that you were in this energy with without getting the truth out on the table. The two of you all have to lay it out there. There's no two ways about it. But to follow it up with this, you know, that brings a lot of hope for the possibility of a future together. Because if that truth can be followed by sincere emotion, open communication, vulnerability, expression, you know, then anything is possible. So it's really beautiful to see that as the strength in the connection, because the two of you both want that. And again, whether it's just to have that truce between the two of you, an offering of peace, a sincere apology, so that the two of you can both feel closure and move on about your lives your separate ways, or whether it's to come together in reconciliation. I don't know here, it doesn't really show in the cards, but the two of you both want something along those lines. Now, what we have coming up for the challenge in the connection, again, very similar to the Sagittarian reading, is the Hierophant card. So I ended up pulling a lot of clarifiers on this to find out, because this could have gone either way. This being in the challenge position could mean one of two things. It could either mean that one of you two is in a high-level commitment or a marriage, and that is the issue for why the two of you cannot be together in your own exclusive relationship. Or it could mean that one of you two has an issue with being in that type of a relationship. One of the two of you may be, what's the term, have like commitment phobia, as they say. something along those lines. They may just not be interested in traditional types of commitments or marriage or anything like that. This could be somebody who's into non-traditional lifestyles, non-monogamy, open relationships, something along those lines. So to figure out which of the two the scenario was, I was getting some clarification on that, and what we had come out is the Three of Pentacles. Again, that left things in a very ambiguous state because it could mean one or two things. It could either mean that someone's being non-cooperative because they don't want traditional commitments, or it could mean that the issue is that there's a third-party scenario because someone's in a long-term, high-level commitment of some sort. We also had the Seven of Wands clarifying that, which speaks of defensiveness, standing your ground, fighting for something that you believe in. That didn't help out too much to give, direction to which of the two possibilities it is. So I dug a little deeper and got the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So now it's looking like the Sagittarian spread, because what we have here now is it's leaning towards the issue is that one of you two Cancers is in a long-term commitment, which would be indicated with the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups talks about having, usually you'll hear tarot readers talk about it in a sweet sense, because that generally is the indication that you're feeling nostalgic about somebody that you've known for a very long time. And if you haven't known them for a very long time, you feel like you have because they're a soulmate. This can be considered one of the soulmate cards. But coming up with the Hierophant, I definitely interpret this as someone is in a long-term, high-level commitment, whether that is a marriage or a commitment of many years. Someone in this scenario is in that, and that's the issue. And with the Four of Pentacles showing up, whoever's in that commitment is not ready to let go of it. The Four of Pentacles speaks of somebody holding on to something very dearly, tightly for dear life. And it also speaks of somebody being closed off emotionally. So it's kind of a similar energy in a sense to the Seven of Wands, which speaks of being guarded. So this could, the Seven of Wands could be showing up because maybe deep inside you, whether it's you Cancer or Crosswatcher, maybe you've been with this person for so long in this committed relationship that you feel this deep-seated sense of loyalty to that person. So even though you're out there in love with someone else or exploring other options, you still feel this deep innate loyalty to that person that you've been committed to for so long, and so you're guarded against breaking that commitment, even though you're willing clearly to explore other connections. And that even though you're clearly, whoever's in this commitment is clearly not fulfilled emotionally for whatever reason. So take that as it resonates. I really wasn't able to determine whether that's you Cancers or your love interest. What we have coming out though as the final outcome for the near future, the most likely outcome for the near future, I should say, is the Queen of Wands. So I get a very, very strong feeling that this is your love interest, Cancer. And this could either be an Aries, Leo, or a Sagittarius. So we have the Aries card already here with the Emperor. We don't have any other specific Leo cards, but this is a very similar reading to the Sagittarian reading. So I really feel that a lot of you are dealing with a Sagittarian. And what I feel is that Cancers, you feel you're very attracted to this Queen of Wands character, whether it's a man or a woman, doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter, of course, in the tarot, but you have a very strong, passionate desire for this person. You find them very sexy and attractive. This is a very fiery woman. This is a woman with a lot of conviction, a strong person, which lines up with how you view them, you know. The Queen of Wands is not too far off from the Emperor energy. She's a very strong-willed woman, often a business owner or entrepreneur. She knows what she wants. She has more of a soft edge, though, than this character, but yeah, she is creative, you know. She's assertive, adventurous. She has a huge heart, a lot of love. She's very focused on manifesting her visions. She's ruled by both the fire of her element and the water of her court position. So that gives her this like perfect alchemical mix, you know, of being a very strong charactered woman, strong in her beliefs and her convictions, but at the same time it's tempered by this softer side as being the queen of the suit, you know. She has that feminine quality that makes her very loving and tempers her with that water element. It makes her very compassionate, very kind, very warm. And so you're seeing your person in this light here in the near future. You feel very drawn to them. It could also speak of a strong mutual attraction between the two of you, Cancer. But I went to see, you know, what that means, who this Queen of Wands is, and I clarified that what we have coming out is the Two of Swords, the Moon card. This is a card of either Pisces or are you, Cancer. The Ten of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, excuse me, that's Earth energy, either Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, and the Three of Cups. So, you know, I had to clarify. I could have just left it at the Queen of Wands and said you're going to run off into the sunset with this Queen of Wands character, but I couldn't leave you hanging like that, so I had to dig deeper to find out more about who this Queen of Wands is, and that's where things got a little more complicated, because it looks like you're not necessarily going to be running off into the sunset with her. With this Two of Swords here, it speaks of somebody still being very indecisive, somebody being blocked, refusing to see the reality of a situation, struggling to make a decision or refusing to make a decision. And I truly believe that that is logically has to be whoever's in this high level commitment here, whether that's you, Cancers, or your love interest. So the near future outcome is there's still that impasse where someone's not making a decision on which way they want to go. Someone's refusing to pick which way they want to go. And with the Three of Cups, this is a card that often talks about reconciliation and reunions and celebrations with friends, and it's a lot of positive energy with the Three of Cups, but it also speaks of third-party situations when it's coming up in a spread like this, where the challenge is that somebody's in a commitment and someone's being indecisive. So unfortunately, I feel that in the outcome position with the Two of Swords, it's referring more to there's this indecision about somebody not knowing who to pick, not sure which way they want to go with that. And with the Moon card, Cancer, it could be indicating that it's you that's struggling to make that decision. But it could also indicate, especially if you're dealing with a Sagittarian, because this came up in their spread, and I clearly told them that I feel that your person is hiding a high-level commitment from you and you're totally unaware. In that reading, I was telling them that you're aware that your person is out there essentially playing the field, but I got the vibe that the Sagittarians just thought it was connections that were very casual and nothing serious. But I told them, I cautioned them that this person is actually hiding a high-level commitment or a marriage. And so with this card also coming up, with the Queen of Wands, which can also be Sagittarius, I think a lot of you are going to resonate with this if you're dealing with a Sagittarian. So the Moon card here for you Cancers as well may also indicate that this high-level commitment is being hidden from one of the two, whether it's being hidden from you Cancers or you're hiding it from your love interest. I can't say for certain, but I can say this is that somebody sadly is going to end up feeling extremely betrayed and in a very deep, profound level of pain, excruciating pain here with the Ten of Swords. With this showing up in the near future outcome and this combination of cards, whoever's hiding this, I feel, is not going to be able to keep it hidden for long. I feel that someone is going to find out about that high-level commitment and it's going to leave them absolutely devastated. So I really hope that this catches some of you in time to where you can temper this result and maybe find a way to deliver that blow to your love interest in a less excruciating way, Show some compassion, whether that's you, Cancers, or your love interest. Again, I have no idea, but it's going to cause somebody a huge, great deal of pain. This is something that you don't recover from very easily, so it's best to deal with those things gently when you can, prevent somebody from that kind of suffering, because you're just saving yourself the karma that comes with causing someone that level of pain, And we also have the Queen of Pentacles showing up in the results, in the most likely outcome in the near future. So again, earth energy, and it could of course indicate that you are involved with somebody that is an earth sign or in that kind of stable type of reliable energy. But what I feel like this is saying in this spread is one of two things. The person who ends up getting devastated because they didn't know about the high-level commitment, it either means that they're devastated because they thought they were going to have this with their person, their love interest. They thought they were going to have this beautiful, stable energy. They thought that their person was a Queen of Pentacles who could offer them this beautiful, trustworthy, loving, nurturing commitment, and then they're shocked, to experience what they're feeling is a betrayal. Or this could indicate that this is the other woman. This is the woman. A lot of times in tarot reads, the Queen of Pentacles is looked at as the wife, because she is that kind of a domesticated figure. She is often looked at in that role in readings. So it could speak to that because there's still this impasse in the near future. It obviously would indicate that whoever's in this high commitment is still staying with their spouse, their husband or their wife, which could be represented here. This could be the husband or the wife. And, that's leaving this odd person out, feeling betrayed and devastated, as somebody here remains indecisive. So that is the story that I picked up on here, Cancers, in the tarot, for whoever that resonates with. There's some heavy energies going on these days. I wish I could be delivering brighter messages, but that's what's coming out, and that's what I'm here to do, is bring you the truth as I interpret it here, right? So hopefully next week I'll have more positive energies for everyone, but let's see what we can get from you here, for you here. I'm going to get one more message from the Wisdom of the House of the Night Oracle deck and see what else we can find out about your love connection. Universe, please give me some words of advice, some guidance, words of wisdom. One more message for Cancers, please, about this love connection. One more message for Cancers. Alright, that wants to come out. So let's see what your oracle says here. Listening. Kramisha. Interesting. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. Let's see if I can read what it says in the small, tiny font there. Okay, so your oracle card says listening, and the tiny letters there says, darkness does not always equate to evil. Light does not always bring good. Wow. That blows my mind. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Let's see what, let's go deeper into this oracle card. Now I'm really interested to see what else it says. So your oracle card says, drawing this symbol indicates that you are meant to listen to what others are saying with their gestures rather than their words. In my house of night there will be a beautiful girl with skin the color of dark honey who has the gift of poetry. She is able to weave tales with great detail and expression, yet without being obvious or straightforward. Reading between the lines and finding true meaning are what are required right now. Listen and learn. What others don't say is what is important at this moment. Wow. Very interesting. I really love this oracle deck, to be honest, but so Cancers, the universe is calling for you to read between the lines. It may be that you're dealing with a smooth talk or a silver tongue character of some sort that may be trying to weave you up in some webs of deceit. And the universe is calling for you to focus less on their actual words and more on what they are doing. And I couldn't agree with that more. I mean, amen to that. That's always been my motto in life. Actions speak louder than words, right? As much of a cliche as that is forever true, forever, forever. The best words of advice anybody can ever take to heart. So, Cancer, that may mean that it's you that's here trying to dig for the truth. It may mean that you've been the one left in the dark here trying to figure out why it is that things ended with your love interest, why it is that they're not walking away from something to be with you. And they may be feeding you like all kinds of excuses and sweet, convincing lines that seem very light and angelic and innocent, but there may be something a little bit more self-serving or malicious behind their intent. Something that's much more selfish and perhaps not good intentioned at all. So the universe is calling for you to pay very close attention to how they're behaving and a lot less to what they're saying. And that is absolutely invaluable advice. So I've always believed that too. When someone truly loves you, you'll never have to question it. If you have to question whether someone loves you or not, that's your answer right there. True love is demonstrated in actions. You'll know without a shadow of a doubt if someone truly loves you in the way that they treat you. So pay attention to the details, Cancer. Guard your heart. Pay attention to how this person is treating you. And listen to your intuition here with this moon card. Listen to your intuition as you're watching and observing the way that they treat you. And that'll never steer you wrong. That's what the universe is telling you with this oracle card. So those are all the messages that I have for you in this reading, Cancers, and I hope that brought you some clarity. But I'll try to summon more positive messages for you next week. And until the next time, thank you so much for your support.